Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Rockets potentially trading for shooting guard slash small forward of the Indiana Pacers, Buddy Hield. I talked about this about a week ago about the Rockets potentially trading for Buddy Hield. But when I talked about it a week ago, I really sincerely doubted that it would be possible. But now it has become more likely that this could be a trade destination for the Houston Rockets. Yesterday, it was reported by Shams that the Pacers are now looking for trade destinations for shooting guard Buddy Hield after their contract extensions stall out on their contract extensions, and now they're potentially looking to trade and get rid of Buddy Hield, the shooting guard who averaged 17 points per game and five rebounds per game on 42.5 3-point on shooting three-point percentage was 42.5% last season. This would be a great trade for the Rockets, and they have the matchable contract with Kevin Porter Jr. and the draft assets to make this deal happen. I'm sure the Pacers would probably be looking at 3 or 4 second-round picks. I would love the Rockets to do this deal with the Pacers. I don't know if they'd be willing to take on KPJ's contract. He is a solid player, but he is dealing with legal issues. It's an expiring contract for an expiring contract, and the Rockets would throw in multiple second-round picks in there. I'm thinking the Rockets trade 2 2024 second-round picks and 1 second-round pick in 2025 with Kevin Porter Jr. to the Pacers for Buddy Hield. And if that's not enough, you trade Buddy Hield and... You trade Buddy Hield, 1 second-round pick. You trade Kevin Porter Jr., 1 second-round pick, and a first-round pick swap for Buddy Hield. That's not too bad either. So that's what I'm thinking, 2 trade options for the Houston Rockets to land Buddy Hield. You know, he's a great three-point shooter. It would be great for the Rockets off the bench. I know he's not been a guy to, like coming off the bench, but I would think that he would be willing to maybe accept that here in Houston, because there's really no place for him to start with Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green at the point guard and the shooting guard. I think in Indiana, he probably deserved to start. I don't really see anybody that he should have started that should have started over him. Obviously, they have Halliburton at the 1. They kind of were looking to put Matherin off the bench in his rookie year. He didn't start a whole lot in his rookie season, so Buddy Hield should have been a starter the whole season as the starting shooting guard or the starting small forward, and I would be mad if I was him and I was coming off the bench. But the Rockets, I think it's a little different with them. Their starting lineup kind of being basically a defensive lineup. Obviously, you got Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun, 2 guys who are not really good defensive players, but are good offensive players in the lineup. But besides that, you have Dylan Brooks, you have Fred VanVleet, you have Jabari Smith Jr. Those are 3 good offensive players, but there's those 3 guys right there. They're very good defensive players. So I don't see the Rockets wanting to put Buddy Hield at the 3. I don't see the Rockets wanting to put Dylan Brooks on the bench for that end. So I think Buddy Hield would come off the bench, and even though he probably wouldn't like it, I think he would come to be okay with it for the Houston Rockets. But Buddy Hield, in his 7 seasons in the NBA, has shot 40% from 3 in his 7 seasons, and is a great three-point shooter. This Rockets team struggled with three-point shooting last season. They were terrible from three-point shooting. Yes, they've improved the three-point shooting this year. They've added in Fred VanVleet, really good three-point shooter. Added in Dylan Brooks, a very solid three-point shooter. They added in Jeff Green, a very okay three-point shooter. I think it depends on how much he plays. Amen Thompson, not the best three-point shooter, but is an okay three-point shooter. Cam Whitmore in the draft, an unbelievable three-point shooter. And if I missed anybody else that they added in, I'm sorry. But adding in Buddy Hield for this three-point shooting will be unbelievable to add him in. If I'm the Rockets, if you're the Rockets, it's been reported they're looking for a player in return for Kevin Porter Jr. and draft picks. I think Buddy Hield is the best available player you can get. The Pacers are willing to get rid of him. He's an expiring contract. You give them some draft picks and a player in return. I think they're willing to do it, even though they have to take on the legal troubles of Kevin Porter Jr. And there is a maybe potential chance that Kevin Porter Jr. gets out of his legal issues and ends up playing at some point in the regular season for the Indiana Pacers. So I know the KPJ is in a whole lot of trouble right now, but there is a chance he might play at some point in the regular season of the 2023-24 season. So I think that there is a chance that this Buddy Hield for Kevin Porter Jr. swap is very possible of happening. But the Rockets are going to have to add in some draft picks, either 3 or 4 second-round picks, or a second-round pick or 2 with a first-round pick swap for Buddy Hield. Because not only are you getting a better player, the Rockets are getting Buddy Hield, and the Pacers are getting Kevin Porter Jr., which you're obviously, if on a normal sequence, if his legal issues weren't happening, the Rockets would probably have to add in some draft capital with Kevin Porter Jr. anyways, because Buddy Hield is the better player. But in this situation, with KPJ being in legal issues, the Rockets are going to have to add in even more draft compensation. And I think the Rockets would have to trade KPJ in 3 or 4 second-round picks, or 1 or 2 second-round picks with a first-round pick swap for Buddy Hield. I think it would be a great addition. Obviously, he's an expiring contract, but I think with the Rockets, with them wanting a player for Kevin Porter Jr., I think they're kind of expecting to get an expiring contract in return. They're not really going to get a guy that has multiple years left on their contract, because if teams are willing to trade for Kevin Porter Jr., they're probably trying to get rid of an expiring contract that is not the best contract, and that is the situation with Buddy Hield. Yes, he might be on an expiring contract. Yes, he might not be on the best contract, but he's still a good player, and the Rockets would get something back from Kevin Porter Jr. and compensation in the draft. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Our thoughts on the potential trade for the Rockets, and peace out. Go Rockets.